Hiding in a cave that is 9 times larger than the Pentagon, protected by 6 layers of physical security including armed guards and safe from natural disasters, is a place called Subtropolis. And it makes for the perfect resting grounds for a peculiar series of cultural masterpieces. 500,000 of your favorite movies and films, all the original copy. But in order to fully understand the need for a place like this, we need a little history. While film today is a mixture of art, technology, industry, politics, and an all-around staple of culture, film at its roots started as an accident. In fact, the first known moving picture was the byproduct of a gentleman's bet. In 1877, Leland Stanford, yeah, that Stanford, set out to prove his theory that when a horse trots, all of its legs at some point leave the ground. To prove this theory, he had Edward James Muybridge, a British-born photographer, build a photo device that used tripwires to take interval photos of a horse trotting down a racetrack. Muybridge captured 12 still photos, and it was proven that a horse truly does leave the ground when in a trot. Victory for Leland, but the true champions are really everyone, because when the photos were played in rapid succession, we got this. This discovery sparked an entrepreneurial frenzy of innovation. William Dixon came forward with the kinetograph, the first motion picture camera. Edison developed viewing devices, and vaudeville was brought to the screen. All because of the accidental discovery of the illusion of motion. And at the beginning, moving was really all it was. Most films consisted of everyday actions or silly dances. That alone at the time was remarkable. A person on screen, a train coming towards you. It was also new and exciting. People actually paid to see these everyday actions in theaters. However, as technology advanced, so did the stories. Films started to develop themes and elaborate plots that stuck with audiences. The world was taken outside of Earth's atmosphere in films like A Trip to the Moon. We were introduced to characters like Mickey Mouse and put in tense situations like train robberies. We had opened up an infinite number of different worlds. The visual world of story. And while the industry exploded, unfortunately, so did the films. At the time, film was made out of super sensitive emulsion, which happened to be super flammable. In fact, in 1937, one of America's largest film vaults burnt to the ground, destroying over 40,000 reels. Couple this with the cultural value of the world's new favorite medium, and voila, there was a need for a place like Subtropolis.
Yeah, they're very militant looking.
Yes.
They kind of look like ammo cases.
Yeah, and they used to use them to actually ship the film to like the movie theaters and such. So they, really rugged, sturdy cases that they could, ship them in.
Yeah, do you see movies in here where you're like, really? This is in here?
Yeah, oh yeah. And then other times I'll look at a title and it's just like, I have never in my life heard of this.
So why here? Why are the films stored in this facility?
Being underground, it's perfect for what we do. It's long-term storage, and the fact that our cooling costs are considerably lower just because we're underground. And we also have on-site security that is able to provide us 24-hour armed guard service. So that's a pretty big deal in our industry.
And I guess as the digital age is developing, more and more films are transferring over to that. But as you're archiving all these films from history, that's not going to change, and it needs to be somewhere like this that can maintain.
That is correct. Everything that's on tape, 35 millimeter, it sounds usually on 16 millimeter, but it'll keep for 150 years if kept to the proper temperature and humidity, just because the electronic age isn't quite ready to convert everything. It's just because of the amount of dollars it would take to convert everything.
As technology advances and conversion becomes cheaper, more of these titles will go digital. But for now, we have places like this, where you can be surrounded by endless hours of cultural treasures.
How does it feel to be the key holder to all this history?
It's pretty exciting to be the key holder just because of the fact that generations to come, 4, 5, 6 generations might be watching these same films, and so I'm helping lock away that material for those future generations to be able to watch and so forth. So that to me is important, and that's the reason I enjoy my job and what I do.
Though these bits of raw culture will forever need preservation, film is constantly evolving. The way people interact with film is giving rise to new formats like computer animation, VR, even interactive storytelling. These innovations and the ease of access to unlimited content has effectively disrupted the theater industry, a once staple in American culture. So as we find ourselves in a time of transformation, how will the progression of film affect us as people?